Planes will be, in fact, be heading towards Tripoli, the capital. Meanwhile, Egypt Air, the national airline, is saying that they are increasing their flights to Libya to try and evacuate more nationals. They're going to be flying 4 more planes per day starting tomorrow. On that front, on the flying front, it's really all steam ahead, but also on the land front, people trying to get out by land, buses being evacuating. We're hearing thousands of Egyptians across the Saloum crossing, and also medical tents and other kind of aid being delivered and tents being set out outside the crossing to try and help those who are coming through. The Egyptian Foreign Ministry has been very strong, saying that they hold the Libyan government directly responsible for the safety of Egyptian nationals, and they expect that they will provide the safe passage of those nationals. And as you were saying there, they're also beefing up the security, the military that is beefing up security on the Egyptian side of the Libyan border, given the fact that Libyan security forces, Libyan troops are now not on that border, according to the Egyptian military. Rather, people's committees have formed on that border to try and secure it. So the Egyptian military very concerned about that and sending in reinforcements in the past 12 hours or so.
Thank you very much, Shireen Tadros, reporting there live from the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Now, international pressure is mounting for some kind of intervention in Libya, but there's also plenty of opposition within the country's government. Libya's deputy ambassador to the United Nations is also unhappy with what's going on in his country. Ibrahim Dabashi told my colleague Kamal Santamaria that it was time for Gaddafi to get out.
Well, what's going Libya is a real genocide against the Libyan people. The Colonel Gaddafi is shooting his own people, and really the international community has to take a clear position about against the regime. I think they cannot wait much longer. What's going now cannot keep anyone silent.
So you, even as an ambassador, as part of the ambassadorial team to the United Nations from Libya, clearly do not agree with anything that this regime is doing at the moment. Do you consider yourself a defector from that government which put you there?
Well, we don't agree with anything the regime is doing. We are in the service of the people, according to even the Colonel Gaddafi philosophy. We are in the service of the people. We have never been in the service of the regime, and now we are in the disposition of the Libyan people to serve him. Certainly, the Libyan mission to the United Nations is the Libyan people's mission, and we are here to serve the Libyan people.
Have you had any contact, or has your team had any contact either with Colonel Gaddafi or with other members of the regime?
We don't have any contacts really with any official of the regime.
Are you worried about making such public comments against the regime?
No, I am not worried at all. I am worrying about the Libyan people. I am not worrying about my own safety. I am worrying about the safety of the Libyan people. The people are being shot in the streets. I am nothing with the sacrifices of the Libyan people.
So what should
in comparison with the sacrifice of the Libyan people?
So if you could speak to Colonel Gaddafi right now, what would you suggest he does?
I don't speak to Colonel Gaddafi. The only thing I tell him on the air now, he has to get out. Either he get out, or the Libyan people will kick him out anyway. So that's what he has to know, and I think he knows it. He knows it, and he's trying to just delay his fate.
Do you believe this entire regime is now crumbling? A lot of the guests we've had on Al Jazeera have been saying they think it looks like the end of this regime.
Yes, I think it is the end of the game. I think the fact he's continuing to kill his own people is the fact that the whole regime is trembling, and we will soon see the fall of this regime.
You must be speaking to other members of the international community there at the United Nations. What are they saying to you? Is anyone showing that they would involve themselves in any way?
You know, it is a holiday today in the United States and the United Nations. Also, we don't have much contacts with the members of the United Nations, and certainly we will try our best to have something done by the United Nations to stop this genocide against the Libyan people.
Now, the Libyan embassy in Malaysia has also issued a statement condemning the barbaric criminal massacre of protesters. Harry Fawcett has more from Kuala Lumpur.
Well, just a few minutes ago, all of these men were inside the Libyan embassy here in Kuala Lumpur. In a sense, it's been a peaceful takeover, really. These men were obviously very angry. They were walking round and round the roundabout inside the embassy quarters. They were chanting against Gaddafi. They were ripping up pictures. They were burning pictures of Gaddafi and his regime. Now, I spoke to the consul at the embassy. He only identified himself to me as Salah, and he said that overnight the ambassador had aligned himself, the whole embassy had aligned itself, all of its personnel, with the people of Libya. And this is the statement that he gave me. We, the ambassador, the diplomatic corps of the Libyan embassy in Kuala Lumpur, as well as the students, a lot of these people are students, and the Libyan community here in Malaysia, strongly condemn the barbaric, criminal, bloodshed, massacre, and total elimination of our innocent civilians. So it's very clear that the embassy here in Malaysia has completely aligned itself with the protest movement. The people here are hugely angry. They're hearing disturbing stories from the people that they know and love in Tripoli. The sorts of bloodshed, the sorts of criminal acts that they say are being taken place against the protest movement. And so for now, they at least have allies here in what was until very recently the official representative of the Libyan embassy, of the Libyan government here in Malaysia, the Libyan embassy and all of its staff.
And in other world news, a major earthquake in New Zealand in the city of Christchurch has left at least 65 people dead. For more on that story, let's go over to Divya Gopalan, who is in our Kuala Lumpur News Centre. Divya.
Thank you, Foley. Yes, the Prime Minister has confirmed that number, and he also said that the death toll will rise. Hundreds of people are still said to be trapped under collapsed buildings. The Army and Army helicopters have now been drafted in to help with the search operations as rescue workers work throughout the night searching for survivors. Azhar Sukri has more.
Part of a building collapses, narrowly missing some pedestrians. And a house-sized boulder crushes another structure.
The floor is trembling.
New Zealand television captured the moment the quake struck the country's second biggest city of Christchurch. These pictures were recorded during one of the many aftershocks which badly damaged the city's cathedral. Residents described the terrifying moments after the quake struck at lunchtime and their attempts to escape damaged buildings.
Down and landed into the third floor and kind of didn't really know what happened, and then I heard some people screaming out which were on the second or third floor and managed to pull them out.
It's the second time in 5 months that Christchurch has been rocked by a powerful quake. September's magnitude 7 earthquake caused widespread damage, but no deaths. While this event wasn't as powerful, it was closer to the city, meaning it caused worse damage.
I don't think we can go past the fact that we may well be witnessing New Zealand's darkest day.
Broken water pipes flooded many streets, and power and telecommunications have also been badly affected.